Agent. So, can you please tell what is the overview or the teachings of the golden ones, particularly their concept of Earth as a spiritual training school for soul development?
He created the women, or the feelings, are connected with the heart of God, and the men are connected to the mind of God. So in the spiritual training school, as a woman,
Someone who is new into this, how they can get started with the teachings of the golden ones, or what resources or practices would you recommend to them?
well, there's a lot of free information on my website. I don't charge for anything. Anything that I receive from Spirit is on the website free. I am Tim Doyle. I am a student of the Golden Ones. The Golden Ones are co-creator gods who are the administrators of this Earth Spiritual Training School. All souls coming to Earth are in training to become co-creator gods and goddesses. So through the years, they appeared to me back in 1983, and they've joined my meditation in 2012 after the Mayan, 2013 after the end of the Mayan calendar, and they start channeling their work and waking me up every morning at 2:30, where I would go to the computer and they would channel their teachings to me. And at that time, they signed it as the Golden Ones.
Okay.
So they are co-creator gods, and they're here to assist all souls in their journeys and their spiritual development. So basically, it's my work right now is to assist souls in understanding what their purpose in life is. Okay?
Yes, got it. So, how did you first come to know about the golden ones, and what inspired you to become a student of their teachings?
Well, I didn't desire to become a student of them. I was in meditation one day back in 1983, and a golden light being appeared to me. And it was in 1983, radiating golden light being. And he put a necklace around my neck. He took a necklace off of his neck, and it floated across, and he put the necklace on my neck. It was in 1983.
Okay.
And then in meditation in 2012, in October of 2012, while I was in New Zealand, a group of them came in and asked to join my meditation. I didn't see them like I saw the one in 1983. The one I saw in 1983 is like I'm seeing you right now, crystal clear in front of me in my mind's eye. And then they joined me in October of 2012. I didn't think much of it because I've had other spiritual entities visit me. And then in 2013, when I was alone in upstate New York doing my morning Kundalini yoga practice, they started talking to me, and they started telling me things, and I kind of laughed at them. And then I used to get up at 3:30 in the morning and do my yoga. Kundalini yoga, you do it before sunrise. Mm-hmm. And so then the next morning, they got me up at 2:30. I woke up at 2:30. They told me to go to the computer and to write whatever I heard. So I started typing, and then when I got through typing, I read it. And I says, well, this is not my knowledge. I says, I can't put my name to this. How should I sign it? And they said, sign it, the Golden Ones. So I says, okay. So for the next 30, 60 days, they would wake me up every morning, and they would give me a lesson to write. And so I would just write these lessons down. And so they kind of put me in training. I say I'm a student because there's many things I have to experience in life to be able to talk about it, to assist anyone about almost anything like conscious mind, subconscious mind, ghost, trap souls, prayer protections, what to eat in the body and so forth, how to stay healthy. And what it is we're in the golden age now. There's no reason why we need to die. We only die because we kill ourselves,
Yes.
or we kill ourselves through our actions, negative actions, or we don't take care of the body and the spirit. So basically, what they taught me is how to take care of the body to keep it in perfect health, how to protect, to remove fears from your light body, remove all fears and negative thoughts from your conscious mind, subconscious minds, and to protect you against negative energies. So basically, that's what they have taught me, and that's how I assist others so they can remove any negative feelings within them or any unhealthy feelings about themselves and so forth.
Okay.
So
Got it.
that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
That's the wonderful experience. So, can you please tell what is the overview or the teachings of the golden ones, particularly their concept of Earth as a spiritual training school for soul development?
Well, basically, if you understand that we're all created in the image and likeness of God, male and female, He created them. When He creates each soul with male and female tendencies. The male energy is the logic in the soul, and the female energy is the feeling body. Well, that's the initial creation. And then when He created women, He created the women, or the feelings are connected with the heart of God, and the men are connected to the mind of God. So in the spiritual training school, as a woman or a female goddess in training, she has to understand her responsibilities as a female goddess in training. Like a female goddess has to know, embrace that she's a female goddess in training. When you do that, the universe will support a female in what it is she is desiring or working towards. It is the male's responsibility to fulfill the desires of the female. So in a male-female relationship, the husband, it's the responsibility of the husband or the God to take care of the female. The female feels what needs to be done, and it's the responsibility of the God to fulfill her desires. In the olden days, 10,000 years ago, when women used to govern the planet, the women used to be in charge of the lands, the different, I won't say continents, but different territories. And it was the male's role to support the female president or governess, or however you want to relate to the female ruling person. It was his role. She would say, this is what we have to do for the people. And it was up to the male god to implement her desires. And even though through the years, Earth transitioned into a third dimension frequency vibration where it lowered, and men took over that role out of selfishness and greed and for self-interest, and replaced the females. And then little by little, the male energy took advantage of the female energy and placed her below him. It's in the teachings of the religious, I say religious, the Bible, the Quran. Even in China, it was the emperors took advantage of many women and so forth. They did not respect the equilibrium of the female. as a equal entity. And so basically, that's the role now that men and females need to move into, is to treat each other equal, but to understand that the female, if she embraces it, she's the female goddess and she's working towards it, and she relies on her feelings, all she has to do is just desire what it is she wants to manifest, and the universe will support her. But that's the teachings, is that the female has to embrace that she is a goddess in training, and the male has to support the female. Usually, if a man supports his wife completely, the wife will support the husband. But if the man does not support the female, then it's difficult for the female to give everything back to the male. So men have to learn to support the goddess female that he is united with, whether it's a partnership, a marriage, a business relationship, and so forth. So.
Yes, I think that's perfectly true, how it's important to have the support from both the sides. And the teachings you told of the golden ones are really the wonderful, and it's very important to implement, in one's life, to have a good growth or good, a tracking of one's life. So can you share any personal experience or insight you have gone while studying about the golden ones teaching, and how it particularly impacted your personal life?
Well, basically, if we're here, which we are, in training to be a co-creator God, you have to think like a God in every moment. Mm-hmm. So your thoughts, words, and actions have to be aligned with universal teachings of universal laws of cause and effect. What you do to others will be done unto you. And just make sure you take right action in every moment, that there's no selfishness in your actions towards others. No selfishness. God is not selfish. You basically have to start acting like God would act, and not what's good for me or for the ego, but what's good for the situation. So you practice by disciplining your thinking and your actions, and discipline your lifestyle so it aligns with your energy and God's energy.
So basically, can you share any of your personal life experience, that how it impacts you, which you remember?
Well, basically, when I first started to meditate back in 1970, I started to meditate. And when I started meditating, I knew nothing about chakras or anything like that. And so basically, I was experiencing the opening of the chakras in my body, the root chakra, the second chakra, the solar plexus chakra. And after about a month of experiencing my chakras opening up, I had an out-of-body experience. And I spiraled out of my body. And at the time, I was over the Chesapeake Bay, and I just asked my teachers to return me back to my body, because I didn't know where I was going. And so I returned back to my body. And so then I started understanding about chakras, and what I experienced was the rising of the Kundalini. I don't know if you know about the Kundalini or not, Pyra. Kundalini is the energy at the base of your spine. And when you raise the Kundalini will support the soul if the soul's intention is to serve God with their whole heart, soul, mind, and body. Okay? So that's what happened to me, is that when I was in meditation, my desire was to serve God, and and the Kundalini energy supported that. Well, then through the years, was studying to become an ordained metaphysical minister. And my teachers taught me how to attune to the God frequency in the mind. On my website, there's a program called the Master Ascension Program that teaches you to that God is always talking to you. Universal mind is always talking to you, to the soul in every moment, but the soul's not listening, or they haven't disciplined themselves to listen to their thoughts. And they do not distinguish their thoughts between maybe the ego and their own personal desires, but there's a frequency in the mind called the God frequency that you basically it's like riding a bike. Once you learn to ride a bike, you always know how to ride a bike. And so once you attune to this frequency in your mind, you're always listening to what God or your higher self is saying to you, or your guidance comes from there. So that was happening when I was working to become studying to become a metaphysical ordained minister. And so I completed that. And then I went on to become a Reiki master. And then I went on to become a Kundalini yoga instructor. And through all those journeys, they're spiritual practices that teaches you how to breathe, how to relate to people, how to think, how to channel the healing energies from God and so forth. But also there's other things that took place, like on my morning walk one day, an entity attached to me. When I say an entity attached to me, it was when a soul dies, it has 3 days to move to the next level of soul development. If the soul has free will, the soul doesn't have to move on to the next level of soul development. It can stay behind for personal reasons. It can stay behind for personal reasons. Like, for example, in China here, I'm in China, and the grandparents, what they do is they raise the child. So when the grandparent dies, they don't want to leave the child because they spent maybe 25, 30 years raising it. So they kind of hold on, and they do not want to move to the next level of soul development, not knowing what's going to happen and so forth. And so they become a trapped soul. And so when a soul becomes trapped, they have to wait until a gateway opens up. And I say a gateway to assist them to move to the next level of soul development. So during one of my experiences in life and walking, a soul attached to me. And what it was is that I was about 3:30 in the morning. I was taking a walk, pitch black, and I felt someone behind me. And it's a country road, no lights, and I felt someone was standing behind me, and I knew no one was there, but I turned around, and of course, no one was there. And so when I got home, I didn't think anything more of it until the next night, when my boys were getting ready to go to bed. My wife came to me and she says, "We need to talk to our youngest one." And I said, "Why?" She says, "Well, when he goes into the bathroom and he goes to look into the mirror, he thinks someone is standing behind him." So then I realized what happened is that, I never believed that another soul could be attached to a living soul. It just wasn't I didn't think it was happening, could happen. And so my teachers were teaching me, yes, can happen. And it attached to my son. And so at the time I was using I called it the prayer protection that I use before I go into meditation. I say this prayer to protect me while I'm in that meditative state. And so I told my son that I was going to say this prayer and let me know what happens. And so when I started the prayer, which only takes about 10 seconds, it's called the prayer protection. It's on my website. when I finished the prayer, he says, it's gone. I says, what do you mean it's gone? He says, well, when you started the prayer, I could feel this energy spiraling out of me. He says, so it's gone now. He says, I feel fine. He was only 9 years old. He says, I feel fine now. Can I go to bed? I says, yeah, you can go to bed. And so what it taught me was that this prayer can be used to assist souls to go to the next level of soul development. Mm-hmm. So anybody can become a gateway to assist a soul to move to the next level of soul development by using the prayer of protection. But the prayer of protection not only will assist souls to move to the next level of soul development, but it will also protect each soul in the home from negative energy coming in and disrupting your daily life. Sometimes, especially if you have visitors, people will come in and attached and come into your home, and attached souls can see the aura of someone else. And so if there's a holy person or a spiritual person, these trapped souls will migrate to that person, hoping that they will assist them to move to the next level of soul development. So all ghosts are trapped souls. And if you go to any place that's haunted, say the prayer of protection, these souls will move to the next level of soul development. And it will remove any ghosts from any haunted building or home or place and so forth. So usually when I go on travel, I've traveled all over the world. And if I'm near a cemetery or if I'm in a strange home, I'll always say the prayer of protections, and I feel entities moving through me. I feel their energy moving through me, going to the next level of soul development. So that's just part of, but anybody can do that. It's not just because I'm a student of the Golden Ones. Anybody who does the prayer protection can also become a gateway and assist souls to move to the next level of soul development. When I in 2000, I went to Peru, and I was guided to go to Peru to work with the shamans. And when I got there, I didn't know I was going to drink the ayahuasca. And the ayahuasca is a shaman drink that when you drink it, it puts you into it's a ceremony that the shamans use. You drink it and you sit for maybe 6 to 7 hours in this circle, and you experience things in your life. You travel in your mind to past experience. And it's a time when the teachers will teach you. So during those drinkings, I was taught about the light body and how gummy substance prevent the soul from vibrating because they have this on their light body, they have a gummy substance. And these gummy substance are fears and unhealthy feelings, and let's say negative abusive actions towards others that is ungodlike. You have these on your light body, you cannot vibrate at a higher frequency because it's like a guitar, and if you're not tuned right, it's not going to sound right. So souls that have these gummy things on their light body, they're not vibrating at a higher frequency. And so there's a prayer, it's called the prayer to remove the emotional parasites that immediately will take a fear off your body. If you have any fear, we can do this little exercise for you and your audience to demonstrate how easy it is to remove a fear off your body. So I've done this where people have had fears for 20 years about heights or afraid of snakes or afraid of water or something. And you do this little 15-second prayer, and it's gone. You remove it from your light body. It's a very simple process to do, where you just, many people have many fears, unhealthy feelings in their light body, and they're actually parasites. They interfere with the vibration of the soul from vibrating to its highest frequency, because these fears and unhealthy feelings hold the soul back from vibrating to a highest frequency. And if you're not vibrating at the highest frequency, then your desires cannot manifest. So you cannot manifest and bring your desires and dreams into a reality if you have fears or unhealthy feelings, or if you don't believe it's possible that your dreams can come true. So, for an example, in your body, your body is made up of an alkaline and acid environment. And if your diseases cannot live in an alkaline body, so if your body has to the prescribed level of alkalinity, no disease can live in your body. No cancer, no coronavirus, no colds, no nothing can live in your body. So if you keep the alkalinity level up in your body, you'll always be healthy, and so forth. And so what it is if you feel that your body is getting unhealthy, like maybe your nose is running, or you start coughing, you say, oh, I'm catching a cold. And then you say, oh, I'll have this for the next 7 days. Well, as soon as you feel something coming into your body, if you take a half a lemon juice, squeeze a half a lemon juice into 10 ounces of water with a teaspoon of baking soda, stir it up and drink it down, and that will remove the illness out of your body immediately. Just like it will restore your body back into an alkaline state and kill any disease or cold or virus attempting to invade the body. So that's the responsibility of the soul, is to stay healthy, keep your light body clean, and protect yourself from negative energies. So you've got the alkaline and baking soda to stay healthy. You've got the prayer to remove emotional parasites to clean your light body. And you've got the prayer of protection to keep negative energy out of your home and out of your office and workspace, so that you are free to attune to the mind of God and stay focused on what it is you're supposed to be doing in life.
Got it. So I think if I sum up each and everything, I think we need to have another session, particularly on this topic, as soon as possible, because it sounds a very unique concept and an amazing concept, where like you just told the story of your son, 9 years old, and I was literally having the goosebumps when you were saying that story. It was really, so it's a very unique and amazing concept, and it's new to me. That's why, I just pinged you to have the podcast with you, the golden ones and others. So yeah, so, we will definitely going to have another session soon on this. And yeah, so I just, want to know that someone who is new into this, how they can get started with the teachings of the golden ones, or what resources or practices would you recommend to them?
Well, there's a lot of free information on my website. I don't charge for anything. Anything that I receive from Spirit is on the website free. The website is www.thepathtoooneness.com. There's, I don't know, there's probably about 100 videos there. There's probably over 100 articles there. There's a lot of meditation programs. There's these free programs to assist the soul in learning about their purpose in life, and how to take care of their body, light body, consciousness, and subconsciousness, and so forth. So it's all free on the website, and I do free consultations. So if someone is interested in learning more and they want to talk to me, then they set up an appointment with me, and I will talk with them and discuss their situation, their challenges, and assist them through it.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, definitely. I'm going to put your website, all the social media handles in the chat, in the description box, so that everyone who need it, they can, you can help those people, and they can, ask you for the appointments and other things. So Timothy, that's all from my side. Do you want to add something extra from your side?
let me think.
Okay.
I think that probably it's unique for people to think that they can't possibly be training here on earth to become a co-creator God. But they do know that they're all motivated by love. Everyone is motivated by love. And when you perform an act of love, it makes you feel good. So you've got food for the body, and you have food for your soul. And you're working towards coming into a God consciousness, and no one wants to be a negative person, and they want to have good thoughts, but they're not aware that what happens to them when they do have ego thinking, negative thoughts. They don't know how it's detrimental to their reality, because there's universal laws of cause and effect that what you do to another will be done unto you. So it's always best to accept others as they are, knowing that they're in training also. There's in this training school, there's many souls on different level of training. Some souls are in the early stages, like right now, who's in charge of the planet are inexperienced souls in training. They're in the lowest level of training because they took over 10,000 years ago. So they're corrupt politicians. We have corrupt bankers. We have people in business that are corrupt. And so eventually what's going to happen is the planet is vibrating at a higher frequency now since December 21st, 2012. So eventually these third dimension thinking people will have to either convert to a loving status, or else they'll be removed off the planet. So it's just that they have to know that who they are. And if you embrace that you're a God in training or a goddess in training, once you do that, the universe will support you in what it is you're attempting to manifest in your life. It will synchronize events to bring your desires into a reality. So that would be another subject too one night.
Okay, got it. So yeah, I think you have shared the great knowledge with the audience, and you have bring a new and amazing concept to the audience. So thank you so much for your precious time.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Baria.
My pleasure. Bye. Take care.